So anybody who's a fan of the show or the network or any of my channels should know how I feel about this glory that I'm walking in right now. The sun is shining. It's a slight chill in the air, but it's not enough to be significant, and it just feels really good outside. I rarely pass up a chance to get out and enjoy it when the weather is like this because the winter is so long. It just doesn't pay to pass up this time because it's so short. So anytime a chance comes to get out in this weather, I want to get out in it. And so we've been fortunate enough to have some really good weather as of late. Like the last 2 to 3 weeks, it's been like super decent. If not as good as today is, then very close to it. And I'll just, like I said, I need to get out and take advantage of this while I can, because usually around this time here in the region I live in, we are still facing a good amount of winter, and the weather can still take a turn for the worse, even though you expect it to be completely changed. It literally is only March, and sometimes, usually at least during the time I've been living here, we've still been getting like a heavy snowfall just in the month prior, February. But like I said, far be it from me to skip a time to get out if I can. It's not gonna always happen, but I wanna do it when I can. But it does kind of suck a little bit because for me at least, I do have to keep my feelings in check on it, because there is the slight chance that we might get a last minute kind of wintry hit. And if that was to happen last moment, then it would be a situation where like I would be crushed, because I get so used to this great weather and then suddenly you get snowed on, you know what I mean? And it has happened. So I'm not just speaking out my ass, it has happened. But even over there, I don't know if you can see it, but they're cutting the lawn for the soccer field, the football field, and it hasn't even had a chance to really get that overgrown yet. Just seeing them out there just let you know that things are changing, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's something that I look forward to. So I don't always want to, focus on it or keep my mind that dead set on it, but it is nice to know that the weather is changing at least a little bit. And I have to walk this way, but the sun is behind me, so it's making it hard for my camera to focus on me. So that's why I'm walking backwards a little bit until I get through this little part, and then we'll continue what we're talking about. Is this a nest? Oh, let's see if I can see what's in there. Is it a nest? I'm looking through the camera's viewfinder, so it's hard to tell. But looks like it is, but might not be inhabited. Oh boy. So last time I walked through here, it was on the other channel, and I was telling you guys how dark it is through here when you walk through here at night. I don't know if I pointed out before, but there are lights through here. Like here's one of them, but they're very few. So you see there's one, and then there's one all the way down there. We'll see it when I get there, but there's a lot of space in between them. So it's still a little questionable when you're walking through a path like this and it's nothing but complete darkness. Just saying. But everybody who's from this country was comforting and telling me that there really is zero need to worry. And they used to take these paths all the time when they needed to get from like their house to the train or from their school to house or something like that. And they said they never had any issues. And of course, I would also counter with that with, I guess it's just my American mind that thinks like that. You know, that's not to say that anything never would. That's not to say that anything never would, but you know, you never can be too careful. I think being more careful is better than not being careful at all, especially if something does end up happening. Not that I'm worried about it. So the more walking I do, the more I discovered that I might have overdressed a little bit. It's not that the things that I'm wearing, this jacket and this sweater, are too much, but when you're walking as much as I am and you're just walking in the sun and everything's kind of dark colored, you're gonna get overheated after a while. So I'm not far into my trek, but I'm not turning around to go change. I just don't want to backtrack. I hate backtracking. So we're gonna continue on, and hopefully I don't get too overheated. If I do, I can at least take this jacket off and just have on my sweater underneath. So I'm coming up on another one of the lights that I was talking about. And this one happens to be near this home, which somebody does actually live at. They actually live at this place, and they are the only ones out here. Like this path is pretty long, right? That way, and then back this way. I don't think I've ever seen a vehicle come this way. And in fact, this person does have a vehicle in their yard, and I don't want to record their yard too much because I know people don't like that. But they do have a vehicle in their yard. So vehicles have come this way before. I just think it's one of the roads less traveled at this point. Also, they do have other vehicles that are here. So it's not like vehicles don't come this way or haven't come this way. They just don't really commonly, unless they live in this house. And we're coming up on the overpass that I'm just going to walk directly under. I've been told that during the greater weather, the summery type weather, when this tree is all nice and leafed up, that there are people that camp underneath this little area. You can see that there's a little grassy patch there, if you can see it, that people have been known to camp underneath, I guess for the homeless or something like that, people that don't have really anywhere to go. So as I come under here, you can totally see that people do come here, whether it's to duck the weather or do their art or whatever. You can see that people do come here, and I'm directly underneath the overpass, as you can hear vehicles passing over and bumping around up there. Also, you can see that there are people that store farm equipment down there, if you can barely make that out. So some people store their equipment here. I don't know how that's being done or how they get the license or rights to do that, but they do it. So people definitely do stuff underneath here. I'm not going to go any closer because there is some nasty ass swamp water right here, and I don't want to mess with that. There's my train. Not the train that I needed, but the train that I would typically catch. Yeah, so let's keep going. And here you can see that some of the springy buds on plants and trees are starting to come through. I love seeing it. You see they're turning nice and yellow, little buds and seeds and stuff. It's really nice to see. It lets you know that the season is at least on the way, even if it's not fully here. And one of the things I like about here is how they're doing energy. So it doesn't matter what kind of house or establishment, business or whatever you see, you can really always find solar panels on top. It's a much better for the environment kind of way of using energy. It doesn't matter how old the building. You can see another one over there with panels on top of it. Like, it's a huge thing here and I love it. Oh, horsies.